In 1992, a group of young adults were faced with the daunting task of starting a youth group. So they opened the Bible and came to Matthew 22:37-40. When Jesus died on the cross and rose from the dead, he reconciled us to God and reconciled us to each other. This changed everything. Together, this small group of young adults made a commitment to love God and love others. With this commitment, Soul Revival was born, in the knowledge that Jesus changes everything. 20 years later, we started Soul Revival Church with 30 people in a lounge room. This small group was seeking to establish a new expression of the same vision, to share the truth and love of Jesus with the good news that Jesus changes everything. We were committed to doing church, but a little bit differently. And part of that was our first goal of planting 10 churches by 2020. In the following 10 years, under God, we planted 6 gatherings and have grown to over 500 people. This year is our 30th anniversary as a ministry and our 10th anniversary as a church planting church. Before we set out with a new goal, we wanted to look at our vision as a church for the next 10 years. And it hasn't changed. Jesus changes everything. That's why we do everything we do at Soul Revival. In Mark chapter 1, verse 15, Jesus says that in him, the kingdom of heaven has come near, and that we are to repent and believe the good news. He invites us to partner with him as he grows his kingdom through growing the church. We are seeking to grow the church by planting churches that share the truth and love of Jesus to everyone, everywhere. At Soul Revival, we do this through our shock absorber church planting strategy. Imagine that our church is just like a car that is driving down the road. As it drives along, it will come across bumps in the road. The car's shock absorbers help it to navigate the bumps in the road more smoothly. Just like a car, our church is travelling through time. Because our culture continues to change, it sometimes creates bumps in the road for the church. We think of the young people in our church as the shock absorbers, because young people can sometimes be more flexible than adults, and they understand cultural change quicker when they are on the cutting edge of new technologies, trends, and fashion. But a shock absorber needs to be strong as well as flexible. If it is not strong, it will break with too much change. The adults of our church who have been reading the Bible and living for Jesus for a little bit longer strengthen our church. This is why our strategy has been to establish an all-age, all-stage church. This enables us, as a community, to disciple committed Christians and to be on mission together in our gatherings, our community groups, and across all our ministries. What's next? We will be praying for and working toward forming up our 2030 discipleship, missions, and resources goals at our 2022 planning day in September. And then we will launch our 2030 goals at Soul Revival's 30th birthday party later in the year. For now, we continue to disciple committed Christians, to be on mission together, and to share the truth and love of Jesus to everyone, everywhere, because Jesus changes everything.